and L got into it. You know, I told L, I knock you out. He started using a few of my lyrics, like different compounds that I was using. That's when you make two words rap at the same time. Me and L start talking. The conversation goes super left, you know. Next thing I know, I'm in a tunnel. It was like a week later we found out that it was Big L. And I know niggas get mad when you tell these stories, but it's the truth. I'm not lying. You gotta take a lie detector test. I gotta go back to the first time.
When Mase talks about Harlem history, everyone pays attention. This time, he dropped a bombshell nobody saw coming. During a recent interview, Mase finally opened up about his early days in Harlem, revealing that someone close to him, someone everyone loved, allegedly set him up years ago. When he hinted at who it was, the streets were stunned. He claimed it was someone from the same crew, a person he once trusted like family. He then dropped a clue that had fans completely shocked.
Man, I remember Mase looked at me. Yo, he never trusted me again in his life. Al was talking to him, but he was looking at me like he couldn't believe that shit. He was like, word. Let me tell you about BigL. Let me tell you what, rest in peace, BigL. This is what BigL did to me. I'm hanging in the studio with Mase.
You have to remember, the person Mase hinted at was no random name. BigL was Harlem royalty, a lyrical genius who put 139th Street on the map. BigL and Mase came up together under the Children of the Corn crew, alongside Cameron and Bloodshed. Back then, they were poised to be the next big wave out of Harlem, full of raw talent, street flavor, and real hunger. However, once money and fame started to creep in, loyalty began to crack. Mase said that right when he started getting attention from Diddy and Bad Boy Records, the whole energy in the crew shifted. People started whispering, watching, and plotting.
And it was like LL, you know, he was the guy, he took us everywhere and all of that. Not everywhere, but to Bobito and different places to rap. And then when I got on, it was like the whole wave changed. It was like, this is what it looks like when a nigga really get on.
In his own words, Mase stated, "When that deal came, I saw eyes change. The same ones that celebrated me started testing me. He initially held back names, but the audience in the comments immediately knew who he was referring to. When he finally confirmed the situation was tied to BigL, the internet erupted. For years, fans viewed BigL as a martyr, a rapper who never got his full due after his tragic death. Mase's story completely flipped that narrative. Mase explained that right before he officially signed with Bad Boy, he received word that someone had tried to line him up during a show. A close friend warned him not to attend, a move that may have saved his life. He never spoke about it publicly until now, but he claimed the setup came from inside his own circle. He described the feeling as betrayal from family, saying, "You expect hate from strangers, not from your own." The situation took a sharp twist when Fat Joe stepped in. During an interview, Joe confirmed the story, saying, "Yeah, I heard that back in the day. Harlem knew that wasn't no rumor. That was conversation." That line was the confirmation the internet didn't expect. If someone like Fat Joe, who has been around since the 90s and knows every major street tie in New York, vouches for the story, it gives significant weight to Mase's claims. It suggests this might truly be one of those dark Harlem secrets that never came to the surface until now.
So me and L would get into it, and one time because you want me to tell a story, so I gotta tell a story.
Yeah.
He started using a few of my lyrics, like different compounds that I was using. That's when you make two words rap at the same time. So I checked the nigga.
Not just words, syllables.
Yeah, syllables. He started using my syllables. I'm like, yo, L. So then Gruff laughing and all that. Gruff like, y'all need the box, you know?
Gruff is,
you know how niggas...
Gruff gas shit like a motherfucker. Gruff, that boy Gruff not a gas
Gruff
shit.
like, murder, then that nigga go right there.
Yeah.
L looking like, what?
To truly understand the depth of this story, you need to know the history between these two Harlem icons. In the mid-90s, Mase, Beatha, and BigL were the faces of Harlem's next generation. While Jay-Z and Nas were battling for Queens and Brooklyn, Harlem was quietly building its own wave. At the center of that movement was the Children of the Corn crew. BigL was the lyricist, Cameron was the hustler, Bloodshed was the heart, and Mase was the smooth talker. Together, they had Harlem buzzing, but when Puff Daddy came knocking, things changed fast. Puff saw star potential in Mase, the clean delivery, the swagger, and the crossover voice. He signed him to Bad Boy and turned the lyricist into Mase Murda, the shiny suit superstar. Overnight, Mase went from the block to Madison Square Garden. That swift success didn't sit right with everyone back home. The rumor was that BigL felt slighted, believing Mase left the crew behind once the label money came in. Street loyalty was tested, and people stared choosing sides. Some said Mase switched up, while others claimed BigL was simply jealous watching him blow up. Either way, tensions started building. Harlem is a small city. Everyone hears everything, and jealousy often moves quietly before it erupts.
L start talking, the conversation goes super left, you know. And then next thing I know, I'm in a tunnel, and then nigga Fat Joe comes up.
So hold on for people. Not a tunnel. That's a nightclub.
Yeah, the nightclub, the tunnel.
Right.
So Joe come up to me. I'm looking like, and then Joe see me, and Joe's like, and I ain't doing nothing to that. That's Mase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's something y'all got going on.
Right.
So
That's first, but hold on.
That was the first time.
But hold on, just so the audience stays on top.
Yeah.
BigL and Fat Joe was kind of in a clique together. Lord Finesse and Buck
Digging
Wilder
in the crates.
digging in the crates. So
Yeah.
it may have been something alluding to that. Just
Yeah.
for the audience that doesn't know why Fat Joe would randomly come in. That was in the group.
So then he's running with Fat Joe. You know, he called him Nick. First he tried to talk to Party and them, but I knew Party in him. 'Cause I knew
Party Hardy?
Yeah, Party Hardy.
Yeah,
That was
Party
my
Hardy.
nigga.
Yeah, Party Hardy. I think Party died, right?
Yeah, he
so
died. Shout
Party
out
was
to
nice.
Party.
Party was nice.
And Wally World
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
those.
yeah, yeah, man.
He didn't know I knew them from basketball, so
Right.
it wasn't gonna go no further than that.
Mase said he started noticing changes. People weren't answering his calls, and there were whispers that the bad boy money was changing him. Then, out of nowhere, someone warned him that a setup was brewing. He didn't go into full detail about the nature of the setup, whether it was planned as a robbery or something worse. However, the fact that he tied the conspiracy to someone as respected as BigL shocked everyone, especially since BigL himself was tragically killed just a few years later in an unsolved shooting. When Mase revealed this, the internet was instantly divided. Half the fans accused him of clout chasing, using a dead man's name for attention. The other half argued that the story made perfect sense, noting that Harlem's 90s rap scene was full of politics, intense competition, and quiet envy. Not just unity. Fat Joe's confirmation only intensified the debate. He stated, "I ain't gonna say names, but that story been around. Real Harlem dudes know what time it was." This was Joe's way of saying the story was true, but the streets had kept silent out of respect. This entire revelation makes you wonder how much of hip-hop's early history has been buried under silence, and how many other stories like this are still hidden. If Mase really was lined up by someone from his own trusted crew, it's a harsh reminder of how cold the music business can be. Success doesn't just create new enemies. Sometimes it turns your friends into them.
A couple months later, we get into it again about something, and I think it was over a chick or something, and then me and this nigga Sham is walking to like 41st Street.
So just to put this story into perspective, we all chilled in this park on 139th Street.
Yeah, we all chilling on 39th Street every day. So 39th to 40th, 40th to 39th.
Right.
So we walking up 40th.
So Mase is basically, I just want everybody to keep up with your story.
Yeah.
He's basically saying he's leaving that area, going somewhere else.
I'm leaving 40th Street. We got ices, you know, we just paid for the truck. All the kids getting free ice cream on 139th. They all got on Mase Day t-shirts, you know. So everybody's running up to the block like, yo, Mase is out there. So I parked my car on 40th and we just walking through the hood.
Following that revelation, social media exploded. Fans immediately started digging up old footage of BigL and Mase, trying to spot evidence of tension between them. Some pointed to early freestyles where L allegedly threw subliminals about rappers switching sides, while others noted interviews where Mase sounded distant when BigL's name came up. Intentional or not, the chemistry between them clearly changed once fame became a factor. Mase explained that when he joined Bad Boy, he genuinely wanted to bring the whole Harlem crew with him. However, label politics made it impossible. Puff Daddy wasn't trying to sign street rappers. He wanted superstars. That decision created deep resentment. People around L felt that Mase had abandoned Harlem to dance around in shiny suits. And even though Mase later tried to show love, the relationship never truly recovered. The sad truth is that Harlem had the potential to run the whole rap game if they had stayed united. Imagine if BigL, Cam'ron, and Mase had stuck together. That would have been a dynasty. Instead, ego, fame, and betrayal killed the dream. As Mase himself put it, Harlem had too many chiefs, not enough soldiers. And once the trust broke, the love went with it.
Yo,
Sham got the don't leave me look.
Sham got the look like, Mase, stop playing. You know how Sham look like, Mase, stop playing. So I'm like, I give him back the look, and this is happening in like 30 seconds.
Real time.
Fast communication. I'm looking at this like, this my first role.
Yeah.
I can't
First
just
one,
get his one up like
insight.
So then Sham like, he rubbing his stomach. That mean like, come on, don't leave me.
Yeah.
Pause. So I'm like, I'm gonna take this watch off and I'm gonna throw it, cause now the nigga done clacked it on us. We know he's serious. We didn't think he was serious first. Once he clacked it, I'm like, nah, I can't let him shoot Sham.
When Fat Joe confirmed he had heard those same whispers, it added a whole new layer of credibility. Joe wasn't just another rapper. He was deeply connected to both the streets and the industry. He stated, I was around then. A lot of jealousy, a lot of hate. When money came in, it separated brothers. That comment echoed a harsh truth about not just Harlem, but hip-hop in general. Fame is the real killer. This led to massive fan debates. Some argued that Mase was wrong for speaking ill of the dead, saying he should have kept the story to himself since BigL couldn't defend himself. Others countered, saying Mase was simply speaking his truth, and it was better late than never. Mase didn't back down. He explained that he had kept the story quiet for years out of respect, but after seeing so many false narratives about him, he felt compelled to share the truth. He said, I love L, but that don't mean I got to lie about the past. This kind of honesty is rare in hip-hop. It's messy and emotional, but it's real. What Mase described isn't just a Harlem story. It's a warning. Success doesn't just separate you from your enemies. Sometimes it simply exposes who they were all along.
So I take the watch off really slow. Sham like, Mase, stop playing. I'm taking it off like, I'm faking. The nigga said, yo, it's taking too long. He put the gun on Sham, so then I take the watch off. I'm like, they got caught. That's what I'm really thinking. Got caught. So then I throw the watch by the back of the car wheel, because I knew it was gonna bounce off. Pause. And when the watch fell, we just ran. But by the time we ran, the cops came from the left side. And before he can even pick the watch up, the cops had got the nigga. And I'm like, man, bro, I just need my watch back, Sham. You owe me, bro.
Why BigL was never on your top 5 list of rappers from Harlem?
By the end of it all, one thing became clear. This story hit deeper than just gossip. It forced the culture to look closely at how fragile brotherhood really is within hip-hop. Harlem is full of legends who could have changed the world if they had stayed unified, but ego, pride, and jealousy always seemed to tear them apart. Mase's revelation concerning BigL brought that old wound right back to the surface. Mase didn't tell the story to disrespect BigL. He told it to explain how fame nearly cost him his life. He said, when you make it out, people think you forgot them, but they don't see how many tried to stop you from making it. That line hits differently because behind the shiny music videos and the fancy record labels, there is often betrayal waiting in the shadows.
A week later, we found out that it was BigL, and I just messed up everything, because I'm like, yo, this nigga's hating big time, bro. So they didn't kill her. Like, that's why he ain't in my top 5.
What was it like going back over there to that neighborhood the same day, the next day? You say you left your car there.
Yeah.
What was it like having to see L or no L or whatever?
No, I ain't see the. You know, the started standing on the other side. That's when he started standing on the other side of 39.
Right.
So everybody's like, nobody else knew why the was over there, but he would be like on the other side of the other street. And I know niggas get mad when you tell these stories, but it's the truth. I'm not lying, nigga. I take a lie detector test.
Fat Joe's confirmation gave the story a credibility that Mase's word alone couldn't. Joe has dealt with his own share of betrayals, and his statement that Harlem knew sent a chill through the industry. Older generations started talking again, not just about BigL, but about all the other unspoken beefs that were swept under the rug. Fans are now left asking a painful question. What would have happened if Mase never made that move to Bad Boy? Would he and BigL have remained brothers? Or was that betrayal always bound to happen once the spotlight and the money entered the room? We'll never know the answer. But what we do know is that Harlem never fully recovered from losing both its unity and one of its brightest lyrical stars.
Hanging in the studio with Mase, and y'all all grew up in that same neighborhood. Jones 139th, all that, they children of the corn, they all from that McGruff, all that's that hood, right?
Yep.
So I see Mase, he's in the studio, I hang out with him. I think you was there, I think Cam was there. We was laughing, telling jokes, all night, popping shit. It was just the best time. And the next day, I'm in the tunnel, right? So I'm in the tunnel, you know how we are, Jim. I'm in there 20, 30 deep, whatever. So L come over, right? He like, yo, Crack, I need you. I said, yo, what's up? You know, Big L, my little brother. Yeah. I said, L, what's up? Nah. I got to holler at these niggas, this and this and that. This is a Joker moment, guys. So I follow him, and you know, we ready to catch rep for L, 1,000,000%. He pulls up to Mason Bector, man.
Oh, man.
And I'm standing with L, and they grew up together, they brothers, and the L start going off on me, and I felt like the biggest backstabber hypocrite in the world. I was hanging out with Mase the night before, and I'm sitting there like this, but you know, L the bloodline, digging in the crate, he blood.
Even with all the controversy, there's a valuable lesson here. Mase's story shows that true authenticity isn't about projecting an image of guns or gangs. It's about speaking your truth. Sometimes the most real thing you can do is tell your side, even if it makes others uncomfortable, because silence only keeps the lies alive. Mase ultimately revealed that BigL allegedly set him up. Then, Fat Joe confirmed the whispers, and the world finally heard the story that Harlem had kept quiet for decades. It's messy and emotional, but it's real history. The kind of story that reminds everyone of the complicated foundation of hip-hop, built on trust and betrayal. And now, the internet is split. Harlem is buzzing, and Mase is finally speaking his truth. Whether people choose to believe him or not, one thing is undeniable. He's still making the streets talk, just like he did back in the day.